Hello everyone, today I'm going to tell you all the story of Isaac and Rebekah, and this is a story from the book of Genesis. This story is a lot about kindness and generosity and hospitality, and that's why today I specifically wore my kindness shirt. So this story begins with a man named Abraham who had a son named Isaac who was all grown up, and Abraham wanted his son to have a wife. So Abraham got his oldest servant, and he sent him to go on a trip to his homeland to find the wife for Isaac. The servant gathered all of his camels and belongings and gifts, and he got them together, and he got ready to go on a long journey to go find the perfect wife for Abraham's son Isaac. When the servant finally arrived at the land, he was at the water well, where women went to gather water, but he didn't know how to find the right wife for Isaac. So the servant began to pray to God, asking God for clarity and to help him find the perfect wife for Isaac. While he was praying, a beautiful and kind woman named Rebekah came up to the servant, and the servant asked Rebekah if she could get him some water. Rebekah immediately said yes, and she also offered to get water for all of his camels, who were probably tired from their long journey. And the servant saw this really kind act of generosity and hospitality as a sign from God that this was the woman that Isaac was meant to marry. So after the servant got all of the water from Rebekah, and the camels drank all of the water, which was a lot, because camels can drink a lot of water. Then Rebekah also offered that she had enough space at her home for the servant and the camels to stay overnight. So this is another act of hospitality and generosity that just made the servant know that Rebekah was a very kind woman who would be perfect for Isaac. So they went to Rebekah's house for the night, and Rebekah's parents said to the servant that it was okay if Rebekah married Isaac. And Rebekah also wanted to marry Isaac, which shows what a faithful woman she was, that she had never met Isaac before and was very far away from her home, but she agreed to go marry him, which shows that Rebekah had a lot of faith in God. So the next morning, the servant and Rebekah left to go on the long journey back to where Isaac lived. And when they arrived, Isaac immediately loved Rebekah and noticed how kind she was and how generous she was, and they immediately fell in love and got married. Once they were married, they wanted to have children, but Rebekah could not have children. So Isaac prayed to God, asking for Rebekah to have a child. Then Rebekah became pregnant when Isaac was about 60, which means Rebekah was 40 years old. And they were very patient, and they finally got Rebekah to be pregnant. While Rebekah was pregnant, she felt like there was something wrong, or there was a complication in her stomach, and so she prayed to God, and God revealed to her that there was not one, but there were 2 children in her stomach. And he told her that one would be stronger than the other, and the oldest son will serve the youngest. This made Rebekah feel a lot better, as she knew now she was not going to have one, but she would have 2 children. And her love and kindness she got very excited that she could share this with her new children. Then Rebekah had 2 sons, Esau and Jacob, and together they became a very happy family. So this is the story of Isaac and Rebekah, and it's very focused on how kind Rebekah was, because if it wasn't for her act of kindness and generosity and how she brought the water to Abraham's servant, then she may not have found the servant, and she wouldn't have been the wife for Isaac. So the whole reason that God brought them together was through Rebekah's kindness and generosity. So we can use this story as a reminder to always be kind to others and always be helpful and generous and hospitable and make people feel welcome. So I hope you guys liked this story, and I know there's some coloring pages and activities you can use to learn more about the story if you're interested. So I hope you all have a great day.